Welcome back to the Intel Extreme Masters Cologne, fast becoming one of our favourite StarCraft tournaments that we've ever held, and for good reason. The games have been sick.
I don't see a better word to qualify these games.
I think Kalaris was already saying that in his head before I'd already said it. Polt advances on. Sir Polt of Terran moves on to the grand final. In your wildest dreams, did you expect him to take down Rain?
He's been playing really, really well, but Rain is just... I've called him many times this before. He's the final boss of Protoss. He's so good versus Terran. His style is so good. Everything's so good about it. You said yourself, his style is clinical. He's very, very precise. But in the end, Polt proved to be too much for him.
Resilience, though, more than anything else from Polt. He just wouldn't give in.
Yeah.
Okay, let's take a look at the bracket. If you're just joining us, you have missed an absolutely incredible set of quarterfinals and a semi-final. CM Storm Polt, newly crowned Sir Polt of Terran, has moved on to the final with a 3-2 win over Rain, the fancied favourite here in the Intel Extreme Masters Cologne. We're now going to move on to our second semi-final. There are 3 guys left. There's only one more spot up for grabs. Polt's already grabbed a spot in Katowice as well, because that's what's on the line here. It's not just Cologne and $25,000. There's also the spot in Katowice. It's now HerO versus Jaedong. We've been here before with these two, and we've also been here with the 2 teams. It's Team Liquid versus Evil Geniuses, which, you know, they've got some friendly banter and friendly rivalry out there.
Friendly banter.
Just a little bit of friendly stuff. They even swapped a couple of players last year. But they're both going to want to support their guys. It wouldn't surprise me if they're out right now playing Twitter wars between them, because they're both very passionate teams, both very passionate players, but only one can go to the finals and only one can go to Katowice. It's almost quite sad that we can't just sort of give all 3 a spot and maybe Carmack won't notice, but we need a finalist. Who's it going to be?
Every time you ask me this, I go back. I'm going back and forth
now.
On one hand, you have HerO, who's been playing so impressively. He just 3-0'd Innovation. He's been playing well against Zerg. He 2-0'd Life recently online. And on the other hand, you have Jaedong, probably the guy who wants to go to Katowice the most right now. He's a miracle worker in tournaments. He's had a lot of comebacks when he was quite far behind, and I'm going to have to go with Jaedong. Even though I'm a Protoss, you got to love the Dong.
That's pretty incredible. You heard it from the Protoss himself. He's gone with the Dong. And Jaedong versus HerO is our semi-final match. It's coming up in a very few short minutes. Matt Vito is on its way. Time to go over to our commentary team, who are going to bring you all the action from what is going to be promising to be one of the very best games we've ever seen at the Intel Extreme Masters. It's got to go a long way to top our first semi-final, but let's see what they've got in store for us.
Thank you very much, Red Eye and Todd, and welcome back to the casting desk here. I'm joined by Team Liquid Resident Pro, Rhett. How are you doing?
I'm doing excellent. I'm enjoying this tournament so much. Like, I knew it would be good, but everything that's happened so far has just been like a dream. And Polt making it to the finals, no matter who he plays against, HerO or Jaedong, it's going to be so epic.
That is so true. No matter who he plays against, the final will be epic. Polt has gone through a couple of hurdles this tournament, but it's now time to focus on the second semi-final. Who is going to join Polt as top 2 of the Intel Extreme Masters Cologne? Who is going to grab that all-important spot to play in the World Championship of the Intel Extreme Masters, where $100,000 is on the line for a winner-takes-all tournament of 16 players. Here is the map Vito. We have Jaedong on the right-hand side for Team Evil Geniuses, and of course, Liquid. Team Liquid's HerO on the left there. This is a best of 5. Each player will have 1 veto each.
Probably going to be Yonsu once again for Jaedong, like he has done in the past. And HerO, I'm not totally sure what he would pick, but Daedalus might be likely. HerO did look a little bit nervous there. He was had his eyes closed. Maybe he was thinking a lot. And he does veto Daedalus point, so nothing too unexpected so far.
These players played just 2 weeks ago, Rhett, in the Aces ROG Winter Tournament. Jaedong won 3-1 just 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Can he repeat that here? HerO has, and I'm sure you can talk about it being on Team Liquid, being on the same team as him, nerve issues when it comes to high-pressure situations, and I'd like to say high-pressure situations when he respects the player he plays against a lot. He knows he's a good player. And what do you think that HerO thinks about Jaedong?
Yeah, HerO no doubt respects Jaedong very much, and it's very true that HerO almost to a fault, worries himself out too much. Like when he plays against a player that he really thinks is the best, he'll start worrying and he'll start seeing these doom scenarios in his head where like, this guy is so good, what can I do? And on top of that, he's also recently been having some troubles with Zerg. But then again, in this tournament, he's looked really, really dominant. And Jaedong, on the other hand, has struggled pretty much every game we've casted with him. He started out with Mana, which he actually lost against. Then he played Stardust. Then he played Patience. And he's always just barely won the games. And it looked really, really hard every time. And now he's up against HerO, who is once again another step up from all the players he's previously faced.
That's right. Both players invited to the Intel Extreme Masters Cologne based on their World Championship Series ranking from last year. And as you said, you've talked about who Jaedong went through. He came in second place in his group and then had to face off against Patience, narrowly making it through just earlier today. Whereas HerO actually also went through in second place in his group, as he did lose versus Rain earlier on, who is now eliminated from the tournament. But HerO did just display excellence just a few hours ago. 3-0 versus Innovation.
Wasn't even close.
Wasn't even close. It was a half-an-hour series. It was just one-sided. And now these two players meet in the semi-final. They know each other inside out. They've lived together. They actually have not lived together just once. They lived together recently in the EGTL house where they played in Pro League hand in hand. But let's just rewind. Let's rewind 6 to 8 years ago, Rhett.
It's a long time ago, yeah.
Let's rewind there. These players were on the same team back then in Brood War on the team LeCaf. Jaedong, of course, the star of that team, and also 4GG within that team as well. HerO then was a B-teamer. He was an up-and-comer, a very talented player, but this is such a long time ago, and they were completely two different players. And now, you know, we fast forward back 6 to 8 years, however long it's been. They now face off here in the semifinals, and they faced off many a time in StarCraft 2.
And HerO's gone a very long way since then. I mean, HerO, coming into StarCraft 2, he was still kind of in that B-teamer role, but the last 2-3 years on Team Liquid especially, he's won DreamHacks, he's won MLGs, I believe. He's won pretty much, he's got second place WCS America.
NESL, 2 DreamHacks, he's won WCS America. He has won a lot.
He's won so much, and he's really a top-level player no matter where he goes. And once again, he finds himself in the semifinals, and if anything, he's probably really happy that Polt won that other semifinal, because if he does make it, his PvT is so sick. And now he just has the chance. He just has to take out Jaedong, who really hasn't looked that sharp.
That's right.
And HerO also a player capable of so many strategies. He pretty much controls every aspect of the Protoss arsenal. He's good at micro, he's good at macro, he plays smart, he can do any build.
And I think you can say the same for this guy here too.
Of course, but you know, we were talking about it in Jaedong's first series. Yesterday he was not happy. He came into that series against Patience, looking for revenge, looking to say like, hey, yesterday was just a fluke. I'm Jaedong, I always play the best. And I have to say, he did not really prove that. I agree. He got a little bit lucky.
And based on forms, we have to go in favor of HerO in this semifinals.
Definitely.
In this tournament alone, despite Jaedong winning 3-1 just a couple of weeks ago, this tournament is different. HerO's looking good, Jaedong not so much right now. He needs to pull that tournament-winning caliber of a player that we know and love as Jaedong out right now. He needs to surpass this. He needs to break this barrier that he's not performing very well, despite being in the semi-final, bear in mind. So if he's not playing well and he's in the semi-final, what the hell can he do if he is playing well? And that's what we need to see come out from him. Of course, he had a crazy rocky ride at the start of StarCraft 2. Expectations that no one could exceed coming into this of being the legend that he was. But eventually, he got 5 second places, eventually took a first place. And in 2014, we were expecting big things from Jaedong. But, Rhett, it is time to begin the second semi-final here of the Intel Extreme Masters Cologne 2014, the final stop before the World Championship in Poland in just a couple of weeks' time. The complete list is almost there. We need one more from this.
One more guy. And this guy could be one of them. He spawns in the bottom left of Frost as the Red Zerg. Evil Geniuses, Jaedong.
And that death stare is upon us. The tyrant is here.
Indeed he is. And his opponent, the guy who represents Team Liquid, Korea and Protoss, it is Liquid HerO.
I love your introduction as well. We have a pylon pretty fast down on the low ground from HerO and a very early probe movement out here.
Yeah, this could be a cannon rush.
This could be, yes. And we've known and seen Jaedong throughout his Zerg versus Protoss career in StarCraft 2 like hatchery first, and to a certain extent love 3 hatcheries. We've seen it in his rivalry against Stardust, in his rivalry against Naniwa, and we are going to open up here
It is
with
definitely
a cannon rush.
a
There
cannon
is the
rush.
forge, but
Spawning pool.
spawning pool
15
and
pool.
the Overlord is moving up there.
Yeah, so this could not go any better for Jaedong already. He takes a nice little lead by just the openings. He's going to see immediately what the plan was.
Yeah.
And he's going to feel so good about making that pool first.
And so we're already kind of predicting that this is already done and failed. What is HerO going to be thinking? Jaedong, by the way, with his Overlord on the left-hand side, is baiting out the cannon rush. He moved his Overlord, he saw it, and then actually... Well, actually, no, we didn't see the forge. Okay, so
Not
he's going to
yet,
see it
not
now.
yet.
But
HerO's still going to go for it, and he starts a pylon on the high ground, and Jaedong actually sees the forge. So there
okay.
goes the drone, immediately scouting. And HerO needs the second pylon. He does get the second pylon. This means he will be able to wall off a cannon. But immediately 5 drones get pulled.
And Lings are already on the way here. Jaedong spotted
Yeah.
it really early on here. HerO's going to try and go for this. The first pylon's almost down. There's a spine crawler there as well. Is this going to work?
Jaedong is not taking this lightly at all. With that many drones being pulled, the spine crawler and the Zerglings, I don't think this is a good investment for HerO. And he's just making it worse and worse for himself because he keeps making more and more cannons.
The Lings
but
are going
this
to bring
is
down
gonna
one
fail.
pylon, and they're going to get into the second pylon here. And with the second pylon going down, there's nothing to power the 3 cannons, and down goes that pylon, and cancel on everything, and Jaedong easily pushes this back. And now, I want to talk about HerO right now. What is going through his mind? We know he's a nervous, focused player. We know that he can get, a little bit shaky in times like this. Is this going to affect him?
This is a really bad start for HerO, and right now he's really not happy and really not liking his chances in this game. And Jaedong, wow, what a great counter to him from that play. I mean, I commend HerO for trying it. It was smart. In all those games we saw, Jaedong always went for the 15 hatch, but somehow he has that killer instinct to just go for that 15 pull and deal with this perfectly. And now HerO is just going to try to play a little bit of a normal game, but he's far behind. He's stuck on 18 supply. The pylon was late. He's low on drones, probes. Jaedong's got his second hatch coming up.
Just look at the overall supply, 28 to 19.
Yeah, this is going to be a really tough spot for HerO, and from here on out, Jaedong can do what he wants. He can take a third base.
Yeah, he's going to be taking a third base. HerO actually has a probe to the south here, which is actually the sole survivor of the cannon rush. The pylons and cannons are all cancelled. But, well, I say that, and...
It's going to get found.
Well, the sole survivor is now going to die too. Then that means that this, there could have been the third hatchery coming down. There could have been a cannon rush to this third hatchery to get back in the game. He could have used a pylon up there for reinforcements from a gateway attack later on. Multiple different things that probe could have been useful, but that also shut down too. Everything HerO is at least trying to do, everything's been stopped.
Jaedong definitely not going to die to something like this. I mean, he was streaming on the American server a couple of months ago, and I believe he took like 67 wins before taking a single loss.
Yes, I remember
so
that.
if anything, that proves that these kind of strategies, which happens a lot on the just under the top level, he's very good against that. So he proves it once again. He takes no damage at all. And HerO, actually, he's not totally out of it yet. He does have a natural expansion. He is getting a Stargate right now.
And that Stargate is going to need to do a lot of work here. It's HerO's preferred tech choice. Of course, having the 3 options to choose from: Stargate, Robotics Facility, and Twilight after the Cybernetics core is done. He loves Stargate. He loves the Phoenixes. He's amazing with the Phoenixes. He gets so much damage dealt, and he's able to keep them alive long enough to scout, to find out exactly what Jaedong's up to at all times, and then even have the threat of the Phoenixes, which stop any Mutilus play. But Jaedong's on top of things. He does move in and see it immediately with that Overlord. That is a nice scout from him.
Immediately scouts, and one thing to notice is that Jaedong did get the Link speed and the Roach Warren. And the last time he did this, he went for a big Roach Ling attack. Right now he does see the Stargate, so I'm not sure he wants to do that. But at this point, look at the supply. It's already still a 15 difference. That's not normally something you see this early in the game.
Yeah.
So he actually 4 Overlords on the way. So it looks like we're going to see a massive attack from Jaedong early on.
Do you think he'll try to break the natural, though? Or is he building 4 Overlords because he knows he's going to lose a couple now?
No, he's definitely going to attack with this. He's got 250 gas. He's going to make about 10 roaches and then nothing but zerglings and just bust a natural. And he might be doing this just because he knows how far ahead he got just from stopping that cannon rush, that he is quite convinced that this will end the game.
All right, well, let's find out if Jaedong is going to be, you know, confident in his strategy. We've actually seen him confident in doing moves before, but they didn't actually work. But this time, for his sake, let's find out if this is going to work. Desella gets surrounded by just a handful of Lings already, and that's a pretty big blow, of course. Every single unit that he picks off immediately is going to aid the actual fight that Jaedong is going for. The Phoenixes,
they spot the roaches.
They do spot it, and an Immortal is made immediately here. There is the Mothership Core, there is Photon Overcharge available. HerO sees this coming.
And there's a Void Ray being made, and with one Immortal and one Void Ray...
He's only got a Zealot and Sentry.
That does kill a lot of units, but I feel like it might be just a little bit too late. He's adding
The
cannons.
Forge is exposed, the Cannon's there, the Cybernetics Core is there. There isn't quite enough energy yet for Photon Overcharge. The Mothership Core wasn't out early enough, he doesn't even have energy right now. And Jaedong is knocking on the front door, and HerO is barricading it. He does not want to let this down. But it is a thing that cannot be stopped at this point. A couple of sentries, a couple of force fields.
And an Immortal finishes now, and this Immortal is very good against roaches, and more force fields once again, and now the Void Ray joins the fight. And HerO is actually doing an excellent job holding this off. Against all odds, he takes 0 damage.
Yeah, I mean, he loses the Forge and a cannon and a pylon. It slows him down a little bit, but overall, Jaedong is okay now. I mean, both players are okay. HerO actually going to fall back on a third pretty fast, but look at the drone count between the differences of them. It wasn't an overcommitment to units from Jaedong.
He definitely got a lot of drones, and he's still in a very good position, but compared to just before this attack, HerO does give himself a fighting chance in this game, especially with the super fast Nexus. And Jaedong already used his units, so he can't really do much about it, although the roaches are coming back in, and the Void Ray is being used aggressively, so he can't really do much about the roaches for now.
And there's a lot of Hydralisks going to pop out very, very shortly here. Once his income starts to rise, he's got a great economy. He's spread nicely across 3 bases, has a macro hatch as well on the natural to aid his production, and is deciding to get roach speed here. He's getting Hydra range first of all.
Yeah, this looks like he wants to go for a big roach Hydra push, but the robotics facility is already done, and if HerO actually gets attacks up to Colossus, which he already has a robotics bay...
Oh, these Hydras popped out at the right time. Yeah, they're going to help to deal with this. There's 2 Queens and a few quite a few Hydralisks there, so this looked kind of bad, but then turned pretty good for Jaedong. A bit unfortunate with the Hydralisk pop. But how's this Hydralisk attack going to do?
The Colossus is being made right now, and with a Colossus, normally you can hold off Hydras pretty well, and also Jaedong is getting a Spire behind this, so this is definitely not any kind of all-in. He does also have a lot of drones, so he's going to be able to do this attack, then get a 4th base, and transition into something else.
Ooh.
A little bit of a roach attack right now. He does force a few Zealot Warp-ins, and he's going to be able to get the cannon, which is obviously going to help his later attack.
Yeah, there's a few Hydras. There's not super high amounts of them, and there's 5 Phoenixes here as well, Red, so there are going to be lifts available, and there's quite a few force fields.
I think HerO's going to be fine against this. The Hydras do pick off a gateway, does not get cancelled, and here HerO goes. Nice roaches to begin with.
A lot of Lings come in though. Oh, the Mothership Core.
Scary.
Oh, immediately gets picked off at the front there.
But there comes the Colossus. He's just joined the fight.
Yeah, but
with this Colossus, he should be able to take out these Hydras and Lings.
The Lings are going onto the Nexus though. The Lings are on the Nexus right now. A couple of roaches as well. And it looks like HerO needs to hold on to this. And so far he's doing so. Fantastic lifts by Liquid HerO. And he lives to fight another day here. And he lives to fight a couple of times in a row here. The Nexus goes down to half health. But overall, that's a HerO victory.
Yeah, Jaedong's been making nothing but roaches, so Jaedong needs something to happen with this attack, and so far HerO has defended.
Yeah.
He is getting another Colossus, he does have an Immortal, and there's only roaches for Jaedong, so if he can, as long as he can defend against these roaches, he's actually going to be in a pretty good position.
Yeah, pretty good position here. And these attacks not quite doing exactly what he wanted to do. You said he would be convinced that he could break down the natural. It didn't work. He was obviously convinced he could do some damage to the 3rd. It didn't exactly work.
Now he's adding Corruptors, so his next attack will have Corruptors to take out the Colossus. Overall, 68 drones only, so it looks like he actually is not like... His 4th base is pretty late, he just took it. So this next attack, this Roach Corruptor attack, needs to do a lot of damage. If it does not do a lot of damage, then HerO might actually win this game.
Alright, well things have taken a turn for the worst here for Jaedong, but not over yet. He's got this attack as you say, and HerO being able to hold on quite convincingly so far. But this next attack, it has 9 Corruptors. There currently are 2 Colossus with a 3rd just starting, so it's not a high Colossus count. There's not a lot to support the Colossus, and this next fight will be make or break for both players. HerO holds on, the game is in his favor. He doesn't, then Jaedong can end it almost now. He hallucinates as a Colossus immediately, but first of all, he's picked off immediately there. The Corruptors take it down really fast, and here comes the Roach and Zerglings, and he needs to target down these Void Rays and then the Colossus, and these Roaches could go untouched. There's a wall. There's not a wall.
And the Roaches run into the natural, and the Colossus are coming from behind, but these Roaches are taking a long time to kill. In the meantime, Jaedong's got all his units in the natural. He's definitely going to do some damage. There's even some Lings in the main chasing the new Colossus. That might actually, it does take a lot of damage, and these Roaches are just still in the natural. And at the third base, the Corruptors kill off the Colossus, so now these Roaches run into the main. This other Colossus will die, and HerO is going to take a lot of damage from this.
84 supply probes coming off. GG is called, and Lee Jaedong takes map number 1 here against Liquid HerO. And so far, I think in all the games we've seen the Zerg player play this past few days, he's almost lost the first game.
Yeah,
he
so
actually
this
wins this one.
Definitely a better start to the series than he's been used to these last couple of days. And yeah, HerO with the cannon rush definitely set the pace for the whole game. It failed pretty hard. It was a good attempt. I like when Protoss players do try stuff like that because it shows that HerO's been watching Jaedong's game and he's been thinking about the way Jaedong plays. And he tried to take a quick advantage by doing that. Jaedong, though, somehow had the spider sense to get the 15 pool.
And it worked out for him here. So there is Jaedong, a good start to this series. It is a best of 5. If you didn't know, which means the first player to get to 3 wins will move on to the grand finals and qualify for the World Championship to be held in just a couple of weeks' time here. But a best of 5 is a long series here. There's quite a bit of comfort zone for HerO to fall back onto. But
HerO looks really worried though, like he normally does when he loses a game.
But how, as a professional player yourself in a best of 5, let's just talk from HerO's perspective for a minute here. You've lost the first game. How important is this second map for him?
Well, it's obviously going to be super important. Like, if you're down 0-2, you know that you have to win 3 in a row, which is a huge mental extra baggage that you take into the next game and just adds a lot more pressure. And losing the first game like that, you're not going to feel good about it because you think about it a lot. You're like, should I cannon rush? Should I play safe? And he cannon rushed, and he kind of handed over a huge advantage to Jaedong. So that's something that he could have avoided if he had more confidence in the standard game, which maybe it shows something about HerO that he was not confident to play that first game out in the way he normally would against a lesser Zerg player. And it goes back to what we were speaking about before, that when HerO plays against a player of Jaedong's caliber, he's going to think, well, that guy is so good, I'm going to have to pull out something special.
And that's going to set Jaedong on alert as well, remember? Because he's going to now go into the second map saying, well, whoa, you try to cannon rush me game number 1. I'm definitely going to be careful with these build orders in the early stage.
But I feel like Jaedong is the type of player who's like, well, I owned your cannon rush, so now I'm going to 15 hatch every game.
Yeah, that's true.
Because you're not going to do that again because you just got owned. And you just, you know, the mind games are heavily in Jaedong's favor. And
so coming on to this next map, Altazim Stronghold, the biggest map we have to play on. Are we going to see Jaedong open up 3 hatchery?
Did he do it against? He did. Yeah, I think then definitely this is a 3 hatch map, if anything.
All right.
And I'm hoping that Liquid HerO will also do the same and just get a Nexus immediately and just play greedy because this is definitely the map to do it on.
Okay, welcome to Altazim Stronghold, everybody. And let's introduce our 2 semifinals here. Is up here to the top left as the red Zerg playing for Team Evil Geniuses. It's Jaedong. And I will introduce this next player really, really fast to the top right because he's 6-pooling. And this is HerO.
Yes, what a crazy thing to do. Jaedong
is going for
the 6-pool.
And you just said, well, all right, let's just put our words back out there. Is Jaedong gonna go 3 hatch? I think so. And then you said, I hope HerO does the same and goes Nexus first. Well, yeah. What happens if that happens for HerO? And we have a 6-pool.
If HerO actually makes the Nexus, he's looking at a 0-2. Just by going for a cannon rush and then getting 6-pooled, he would already be down 0-2 in the series. And HerO actually, he's making so many pros, but he does rally it to the natural. It's a gateway.
It's a gateway.
So he does give himself a fighting chance here, but it's still a really greedy gateway. It was a 13 gateway. So by no means does that mean that he's going to stop this attack.
And this is a big commitment here. This is a drone scout. Is the drone scout going to tick HerO off?
It's a double drone scout.
Yeah, it's a drone.
It's two drones.
But this one's going to arrive early. But surely HerO's got to be like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Why the hell are you drone scouting me?
Yeah, the drone scout normally does mean something. There's no way that someone is going to 15 hatch in drone scout. It's always going to be like
He
early
has to
lings.
know. He has to know from this point that there has to be something coming. He's been found from this position.
He saw it for sure. And he just used a chrono boost, so he's not going to be able to chrono boost his
Could
health.
he think it's like a hatchery steal or something like that?
Maybe. Maybe.
Maybe.
And he does go for the... yeah, he does check on the
Yeah,
drone.
he thinks it might be a hatch steal or something.
Make the
but
zealot, make the zealot.
Ooh.
Zealot.
Okay, so is it a zealot? He's not making the zealot.
He's making the core.
He doesn't believe it's a 6-pull.
And here's the links.
He doesn't believe the pylon's going to get wrapped around here. And HerO now finds out. He finds out.
Immediately pulls the probes, and actually, these probes are going to be able to... Oh my god, the links get stuck.
No, they can...
They get the pylon, but they can't escape.
They get the pylon. The lings are all dead, but there's
They're
a
all
couple
dead.
more coming in.
There's no money for another pylon.
So why did he choose the pylon?
I don't know. I think that was a mistake. I mean, getting the pylon is great, but if you lose all your links in the process,
Then
you have nothing left to kill Protoss with. So
And this HerO's just going to walk off with his probes, and as much as HerO gifted, you could say Jaedong an advantage.
Yep.
Jaedong may have gifted the game here. It's 7 harvesters versus 18.
so far, these guys have decided that best of 5 suck. We're
Let's
just
make
going
it
to
a best
start
of
with
3.
1-1 and then play our real strategies.
All right, well, great micro here from both players, being able to micro the pros back, micro the lings back, but the zealot is about to pop out. There are only lings, just only lings being made at this point. He could start a sentry, he could start a stalker.
Yeah, and this is absolutely fabulous for HerO. He finds himself in a great position. Jaedong does not go back to joining. He's going to keep making links. He knows this is all in.
This is crazy.
So he's going to fail and probably GG.
This is a massive risk there. Oh, he almost gets the... I thought that he could squeeze past the zealot there.
That would have been a great way to win.
Yeah. And now we find... Wait, he's still going to try it. HerO's got to be careful here. And the Queen has started. Jaedong's not just going to give up. He's going to switch back into this, but a massive advantage over to HerO. And the game goes on.
Yes, and he does actually start a drone, so he's like, all right.
6-pull to macro.
GG.
Okay, GG. And HerO takes map number 2. It is going to be just a best of 3 ret.
Yeah.
As HerO equalizes this. But that was a gamble. And would you call for what Jaedong did a smart choice? Or would you say, tut?
I mean, I was saying that HerO should go for the Nexus first. So maybe HerO is even smarter, and he's like, no, I know Jaedong. I've been on the same team as Jaedong. I know how he thinks. And it's very likely that he does cheese me on this map. And I don't really fault Jaedong for that choice. I thought it was a very good choice. But sometimes, you just don't have luck on your side. A lot of times he does. It's just a good thing that it happened in this game and not in the very last game to decide the whole thing.
That is true. Tied up 1 apiece. Now, it is, as you say, basically a best of 3. At this point, 1-1, need to get to 3, 2 maps left to win from both players. But Outer Team Stronghold isn't really a favored map from any of the players when it comes to the Zerg side or the Protoss side. So that's kind of out the window, at least.
Yeah, it's kind of good that it's gone. Like this is a real best of 3.
And the next map is going to be Habitation Station. I got that.
LE.
Yeah, Ladder Edition. So
That's what LE means?
yeah, Ladder
I
Edition.
actually never knew that.
Yeah, Ladder Edition, LE. So now that we've passed game number 1, passed game number 2, both of them gifting each other. You can say Jaedong gifting to HerO more so than HerO to Jaedong if the games go by the way of gift prizes and sizes. But going on to the next map. It's a map that we've seen a lot of success from Protoss against Zerg these past few days.
Yeah, and I think this is a good map for Protoss, unless it gets to that Swarm mode stage, which we actually have not seen happen, even though this is one of the most popular maps for that. And actually, I'm really curious to see what HerO will open here. Wow, he's got really long nails.
He has. It's been a long 4 days, man.
Yeah, I don't usually pack a nail clipper when I go to tournaments.
And it could have got to the stage where your nails were like, kind of need a cut, but they don't need a cut, and then the 4 days happen, and then you're like, I knew I should.
I'll just cut them when I get home.
I'll cut them when I get
It'll
home.
be fine.
At least we know that he doesn't bite his nails, because that's not so cool.
True.
Yeah, that's really gross, actually, because there's
Is
there's a lot of dirt behind your nails, and if you're always putting it in your mouth,
Yeah, that's true, actually.
yeah, you don't want to bite nails, really. A lot of people do. It's a bad habit. It's a bad habit, people.
It also makes your nails really...
Don't do that. Yeah, ugly too. Bad habit, not so healthy, and it doesn't look so good. Take advice from the pros.
But oh my god, the third game is underway!
The third game is underway. This is the Intellect Stream Masters This is the best tournament right now, and it's going to be remembered for the entire of the year, I'm sure. The Industry Masters Cologne, where the Giants came to qualify for the World Championship of $100,000 winner takes all in Poland in just a couple of weeks' time. One of these players is going. All they have to do, it's really simple. You just need to beat the other guy. It's really simple. The rules of StarCraft, you kill the other guy's buildings, Rhett.
Yes, and this guy very much knows the rules of StarCraft. He is the red Zerg spawning in the top right of Habitation Station. It is Evil Genius's Jaedong. And in the top left, his opponent, currently very happy because he's been gifted the last game, Liquid HerO.
All right, very tense here between these two players, and a strategy that we may or may not see here that has been used a lot over the last couple of days. Maybe some of the players or spectators, players that have been playing on the ladder may have encountered it. It is the gold base being taken quite fast from the Protoss player, and it kind of switches into an Immortal attack. Do you think that's kind of a build that HerO would have in his arsenal to take on Jaedong?
Well, he did put the gateway at the ramp, which kind of like, I think Kalaris said this during one of the games where it actually happened. That would point towards an Immortal all-in, but at the same time, I really feel like HerO is not the type of player to go for that kind of build. But he was actually in Finland, where it was first introduced by Sun. So I don't know. It's really hard for me to predict, even though I'm HerO's teammate. I have not spoke to him before the game, so I don't know which strategy he's going to go for. And Jaedong actually decides to go for the 15 hatch here with the very fast gas. So he's going to be great against the gateway opening. He's going to be able to get map control.
It's not the greediest of builds. It's a good build. Let's just set it at that.
It's solid. It's
solid.
It's like the thing you want against gateway opening, because you're going to have link speed really fast, and you're going to be able to hunt down the probe and you know, be able to not get cheesed.
Nobody wants to get cheesed in a game of StarCraft.
That's just not done.
It's not very nice.
It looks like you're actually look at that probe. Where's it going to go? Yes!
Dun, 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 dun.
Gold base!
This is a build we've seen a lot and a strategy we've seen a lot. So, Rhett, just talk us through the overall strategy of the Protoss player, what he's looking to achieve, why is the Nexus there, and what's his end goal?
I've only seen this with Immortal all-ins, so I don't know
use that example.
The Immortal all-in, you get the gold base, you get a lot of extra minerals because you're mining gold. You need less probes to get the same kind of income. The Zerg player does not need less drones to get the same kind of income, so you have a huge advantage in a small period of time where you can get way more Zealots than you normally would. And the Zerg player has the same setup to deal with a build that is already hard to defend, except this time Protoss is just way richer. But Jaedong has played against this before, and it was actually a crazy game. It was against Stardust. It was 1-1. Jaedong took the gold base, Stardust killed the gold base, but after that he had some sick Roach Burrow play to get back into it, actually abusing the fact that the Protoss natural and main base are so far separated. And we'll have to see if Jaedong learned from that game, and if he's like, okay, I've played against this before. There's a Robo, so it's definitely that build. It's definitely going to be that Immortal all-in. And Jaedong, I feel like he's played against this before. Maybe this time he'll realize it, get Banelings. I feel like Banelings is the answer if you're going to play against massive Zealots. What is the deal with that cost of energy? It's Banelings, but we'll have to see what Jaedong thinks. Well, he is once again taking the gold base.
He's making quite a few lings as well, by the way. He's got 8 out, and he's about to go up to 10. That's quite a lot, because he doesn't necessarily need them at this point. There's nothing to be worried about. This is definitely to try to do something with these, as Zergling Speed's about to complete. But where is he really going to go? Everywhere should be technically walled off. There's a Zealot block in the main. There is a gap on the gold, though, at the moment.
The gold has a gap, and if Jaedong gets in here, there is a probe there to
It's not in position, and it's not built. He gets into the probe line, but there's the immediate photon overcharge. And Jaedong learned from last time. I think when we casted this game, he lost all of his lings almost to that. But he gets out with 5, forces energy to be used. But it's a warp prism, first of all.
Oh, this is an interesting deviation.
I don't think
I've seen this build used with a warp prism. So
this is just a pure gateway attack with a warp prism. He can almost go straight for the main base of Jaedong here.
Yeah, if he gets sentries in that War Prism. There's an Immortal after the War Prism, so it looks like he just wants to harass a little bit and have the possibility to warp into Jaedong's main base. And Jaedong is going to have to worry about that. At the same time, he's still going to get
look at that, he's ferrying probes.
Oh, he's bringing Nova. That's smart.
Yeah, with the Zerglings out there, that's
He's going to
smart.
have a superior income this way.
Wow, look at that. You smart little Protoss. All right. So, let's have a look at the drone count here for Jaedong. It's at 35. He does have the gold base as well. The
And look at
income
Jaedong.
is in favor
He's just
of the
going to make
Protoss
a million
little bit.
roaches.
Yes, 10 to be exact. Not a million.
Not
Can't
a
quite
million.
afford a million.
Close.
11 roaches. And is he going to be set up to defend this? His economy is very weak. If HerO was to leave and attack soon, you would favor Jaedong because obviously Jaedong's going to have a smaller army, a bigger army right now, but over time, surely, does this not favor HerO if he's able to identify this?
If HerO identifies this, he's just going to take the gases on his gold base and actually get a lot of sentries.
Yeah.
And then his later attack is better. But if HerO sticks to his original plan, which he is doing, he's adding 4 gates, he's going to go for Immortal Zealot, then I think this is a very good opening for Jaedong. And Jaedong actually is pushing forward.
He squeezed
and
down
HerO
more
needs
drones
to
behind
see
this, by the way.
He needs
and
to see this.
He does
He
now.
does.
And this is obviously a little bit of a stressful situation here for HerO. He sees these units, but he picks up the Immortals anyway. And
He's
this
gonna
is
harass with the
something
Immortals.
which Jaedong does see. And he's going to get into the drone line, trying to get to that queen.
I'm not sure I like this for Jaedong. He's being forced to pull back. At the same time, HerO is not adding the gases. He's still got a lot of Zealot gateways.
Yeah, and he's actually warping in here.
That was a little bit...
Okay, no, he's not warping in here.
yeah.
And he's going to retreat there. But nice little harassment there from HerO. Jaedong's drone count has climbed up to 51 now, Rhett, in a much better situation. And it is 37 for HerO. And as you mentioned, it is Zealot.
Yeah,
Zealots,
no force fields whatsoever.
Just
so
the Guardian Shield. Or he could use a couple. He's got
just-
1 sentry.
I feel like it's just going to be pure about the Zealots just powering through here. And Jaedong, how many roaches does he have now?
He's got
20.
He's got 3 force fields with 3 good force fields against roaches. And I guess it's a risk if they slip away. But anyway, we're going to see this attack come in. There's a lot of roaches. Spine crawlers were attempted to be made on the gold base. Oh, the roaches! The roaches!
The roaches get caught out of position and the time warp, and he does get 3 of them, but Jaedong does pull out. 2 forces already being used. There's only 1 left.
Yeah.
The next time HerO fights, he's not going to have any forces, but there's so many Zealots. How
There's a
many
lot of
does he have?
zealots. HerO's
20.
build is amazing. It's so
20
powerful.
Zealots. So many.
20 zealots versus 20 roaches, and the gold base. Well, I think that's as safe as is gone. Basically.
3
Sorry.
Immortals. Like, they're just going to laugh at these roaches and kill all of them.
Oh, nice pick up there by HerO using the Warp Prism. Actually saves that Immortal. The other one, not as lucky, does get picked up, but the zealots. They're going crazy with their scissor hands. They're chopping all these roaches up into tiny little pieces.
Yeah, these roaches have to get past the Zealots to target the Immortals, and there's still 2 left, and the Zealots are just doing work. And it looks like HerO actually quite easily destroys Jaedong with this build.
Yeah, we can't count him out though. We've seen what Jaedong's done
true.
throughout the rest of this tournament, so we'll leave it till the fat lady sings and GG is sung. But from this point, HerO definitely in commanding position here. Liquid HerO staring at a 2-1. Is he able to finish the deal here? Great micro with his Warp Prism, picking up these Immortals, dealing so much damage.
Yeah, but Jaedong is actually kind of holding it back off. But the Immortals are still alive, and there's more Zealots from the top. And HerO is not going to stop. He's going to keep pushing forward. He's marching towards the natural. There are 6 roaches and 6 more lings in production. But even if those were done right now, these are just way too many Zealots, and he warps in even more. The Warp Prism might get taken out. It does get taken out.
Oh, that's a big takeout
But
there. A massive takeout.
The Immortals are still alive, and there's another force field. And
I think
Jaedong-
we're going to have to see some
Jaedong has
drones
nothing
come off
left.
the line.
Jaedong has
And
nothing left.
He does not. He's got 6 extra roaches coming in here, and he's going to try to wrap around. The Immortals are kind of exposed now without the Warp Prism. Doesn't quite have the same defense they had before, and the drones are being used effectively here, but there's more and more Zealots. This gold base is powering up this attack, and GG's called. HerO takes a 2-1 over Jaedong after losing the first game of the semifinals.
Wow.
And is now just 1 game away from going
Just
to the grand finals.
Like that.
Just like
A
that.
failed 6 pool and a very fast Immortal all in, and he's almost in the finals. Crazy how fast that can happen.
Very powerful build there from HerO. And yeah, I think he's shaking a little bit. I didn't see him pick up that can, that energy drink. He was shaking a little bit. But all he needs to do now is seal the deal. And that is to go for the win in this next game. That was always going to be a difficult map, though, I thought, that habitation station.
Yeah, and we've seen so many nice all-ins with the gold base. I feel like it's really nice that we see another map with a gold base, because it does create for very, very different games. And Jaedong, even though he faced that build once before, he did not come up with the right counter. He did not go for Banelings. He went for Roaches. And it really didn't do anything. And I feel like it was just a wrong strategical choice to go for that Mass Roach before Lair. He should have done something else. And I'm sure the next time Jaedong faces that build, he might be prepared. But for now, we're going to go into Heavy Rain.
Heavy Rain. And HerO, Liquid HerO, 1 game away. Jaedong now needs to win back-to-back games. Heavy Rain is a map that we've seen Jaedong play very well on. And we'll see if he can continue on with that. So, score 2 games to HerO, 1 to Jaedong. We will be back in a couple of moments' time to find out if he can tie it up or if HerO is going to the finals.